Afternoon class. What we're going to do here real quick is demonstrate some conditional logic and how that you can use it in your code. Simply stated, a conditional logic statement in Java uses an if or an if-else statement. This chapter will also include discussions on using the switch statement. But for this video, we're only going to demonstrate using if. So let me create just a quick sample here to demonstrate how the if variable can be used. We have a int, and we're going to say int age equals 18. And now we're going to create some simple logic to test if the age is 18. The way we do this is we type if parenthesis, and we're going to type in the value we're testing. And so we'll say age is equal to 18. And in this scenario, notice that we use the double equals. This is for equality testing. And so we're going to simply just type system out print line. If the age is equal to 18, welcome to the program. Go ahead and we'll test this real quick. And we can see from the test, as it's parsing it and preparing the logic here, that the value equal true. Welcome to the program. Now, one of the things that I want you to see real quick is the use of the brackets. In this instance, IntelliJ automatically creates brackets for you. When you're using an if statement, you don't have to use brackets. I recommend the use of brackets for readability, as well as not confusing yourself with logic errors. If you do not use a bracket, the code directly following the if statement will be executed. If I include a second statement here, this statement will be called regardless if age is 18. Now, to prove this, I'm going to change the age to 19. We're going to save it and we'll run it. And the reason I'm demonstrating this is because brackets can be useful in isolating your code. We notice that welcome to the program did not run. Only this is a follow-along statement. This is where brackets are very useful. Now that I've encapsulated the entire statement in brackets and I run it again, it will not output any of the following statements. Okay, that's very important to keep in mind with the bracket. Now, the next thing that you can do with your age test is you can add other criteria. And what we'll do is we'll create a Boolean variable, and we'll call this good equals true. So we can say if age is equivalent to 18 and the person is good, then this information will be printed. Okay, so we'll test it again. And now we've added a little bit of extra logic. So they're not 18, but the value is true. So the way this works is the first part of the statement is evaluated, And if it doesn't meet the criteria, it fouls out, even though the second part of the criteria is true. Well, let's say that we want the criteria to be if you're 18 or you're good. By using the double pipes, we use the logic statement or. So now it's if you're 18 or you're good. And we'll run the logic again, and you'll see now that it will run and read that part of the system out print line. Another way that we could do this as well is we could test the age by asking the question, age is greater than or equal to 18. And so if we test that again with age as greater than or equal to 18, we'll find that it still runs and produces the same results. So these are using some very simple criteria. We could, of course, take out the equal to and just say if age is greater than 18. And run the program again, and you'll see that it evaluates with the appropriate response. So let's change it the other direction. Let's say it's less than 18. Well, we run the program using less than 18. You'll notice that now the contents are not read because it's not true. It doesn't evaluate to true. However, if we add back in our statement, the Boolean variable good, which evaluates to true, we're saying then if age is less than 18 or they're good, we'll read the contents. And as you can see, it reads the contents. The next thing that we can also do in this statement is we can add an else statement. The else is read if this part here does not evaluate to true, meaning this area within the curly brackets or right underneath the if statement is not read. So let's go ahead and take out this first part, the second part again, save it, and we'll add another system out print line, and we'll say we are in the else part of the conditional logic. We'll save that. We'll run it again. And we can see that we're in the we're in the else part of the conditional logic. Again, the same rules apply. If we do not have the curly brackets, it will read it just as you see it, only by what follows it. So we can run this again, and again it's going to print out the same statement. Now, my recommendation is always to use curly brackets. Some teachers will tell you don't, but from working in the profession for 13 plus years, curly brackets protect you from making silly logic errors by not understanding what pieces of the code are encapsulated by these code blocks. And these code blocks can be very valuable. All right, so now we have an if and an else statement. Well, let's change it up here, and let's say if the person is 18, or if else, we're going to say else if the age is greater than 19. Change this, the person is older than 19. Now, the way this statement works is it's going to read the variable 19. We're going to say if the age is less than 18, run this code block. Once it exits that piece and says, well, no, this doesn't evaluate to true, then it'll skip to the next else statement. Else, if the age is greater than 19, then it will go to this code block. So let's change the age and just say they're 29 now. We'll run it again to validate our sample. And as you can see, the value of 29, it falls into the second else if block. The person is older than 19. And then of course we can always follow this up with a final else statement. I don't know how old this person is. So we could say that the person is 19. And based on our logic, if they're less than 18, welcome to the program. If they're greater than 19, this person is older than 19, else this person let's change the statement to reflect reflect the facts. This person is 19 years old. The way this logic works is if they're less than 18, we're going to say they are less than 18. If the person's age is greater than 19, the person is older than 19. And if the person is 19 years of age, it'll fall into the else category. So let's run the program, we'll test it, and then we'll call this quits for this video. And there you have it. Now we can also test this as well by using the scanner class, but for the purposes of this video I just want to demonstrate simple if-else logic. There's a number of other things that you can do in if-else logic, and that'll be the last thing we do for this video, and that is to add a public static void, and we'll just create a method and we'll call it display. We'll say string message system out print line, and we'll pass in a message. And for our purposes, we'll just pass in display. Display and display. So now inside of our logic block, we're calling methods. We'll run that, and that'll be the end of our demonstration. There you go. Hope this is helpful. I'll see you in class on Tuesday.